you please introduce yourself?
Sure, sir. Sir, my name is Aswanth Raj. I come from Kozhikode district of Kerala, where I did my schooling. Then I did my graduation from University of Kerala in Trivandrum in mechanical automobile engineering. Then after that, I joined Infosys and worked as a mechanical engineer there for 3 years. After which I resigned to prepare for the civil service examination. And recently, since last May, I've been working as a deputation engineer at Boeing India at Bangalore. And this is my 4th attempt at UPSC and my first interview.
The career in Infosys, Boeing, you're already doing very well in the technical fields.
Yes, sir.
So why go into the civil service?
Sir, actually my inspiration came from when Mr. Aswanth IAS, sir. When I was in my school years, he used to be the district collector of my district, Kozhikode. But 2 of his projects, like Compassionate Kozhikode and Operation Suleimani, got into my imagination. Like a person with an authority, with a small step, can make a huge difference in the lives of people. So I wanted to get into the system so that I can be, even if it is a small change, that I wanted to make something in the lives of many people who are vulnerable. So I took up, I wanted to take a profession in civil services, sir.
Narayana Murthy has changed the lives of so many people without being in the civil service.
But sir, as I said, that small steps taken by him had caught my imagination then. I was a student then. But I had made my decision after seeing that.
Sir?
Yes, sir. So, Aswanth Raj, you took political science and international relations.
Yes, sir.
So, you must have studied a lot about our constitution.
Yes, sir.
What is it that appealed to you most in your study of our constitution?
I find the preamble the most fascinating part of our constitution. Like within a few words or sentences, it has captured the entire essence of our constitution, what our constitution makers has decided to make our country into. So that is the most attractive. I got attracted to the preamble of our constitution.
Can you recite the preamble?
Yes, sir. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and secure to all its citizens, justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought expression, speech and, liberty of speech, thought expression and speech and belief.
Okay, you are on the right track.
Yes, sir.
I don't expect you to memorize everything. You are on the right track. But some of the words you read out there, it was not there in the original preamble.
No, sir.
Can you recall those words?
Yes, sir. Socialist, secular and integrity were not there in the original preamble.
And when did it come?
It was added in the 42nd Amendment Act in 1976.
What is your view on that? These additions?
Yes, sir. These values were already in our constitution. Not in...
Let us take one by one. For example, you take socialist.
Yes, sir.
What is it that added to the constitution? There were a lot of criticism even at that time.
Yes, sir.
What was the criticism?
But, sir, even before that, our constitution has, in directive principles of state policy, as mentioned for equitable distribution of wealth and preventing concentration of wealth. So, it was implicit on constitution. With the amendment, we had made it explicit.
Nay, adding these words, what value it has brought into, how it has improved or what is it that benefit we derived?
Yes, sir. Adding the specific value explicitly to the constitution reaffirms our commitment to implement such policies which will make an Indian society an equitable one, egalitarian one.
Has it really happened?
We are a large country with a large population, so there are challenges for completely implementing it, but we are on the track, I believe, sir.
We are on the right track.
We are on the track, sir. I believe, sir.
Okay. If we were to take a critical view, So, what are the areas when it comes to constitutional values where we have to do more when it comes to translating those into reality?
The most important one I feel is like we have a high income inequality. A small section of Indians population is having disproportionate income and asset wealth to of the nation to their name. So, for most important thing is we should take policies or actions that will aid in income distribution and as wealth distribution as well. So, once wealth is distributed proportionately, I feel that people who are vulnerable or who didn't have these opportunities will get up and take those opportunities, and their standard of lives will improve, I believe, sir.
Can you think of some measures, some legal or administrative measures to address this problem?
Yes, sir. Actually, we have had land reforms policy right after the independence, but barring a few states, a couple of states, it has been not successful anywhere. But we can take up that as an initial step to redistribute the land and to to plug legal loopholes which were present in the Land Distribution Act. That is one thing. Then we can enumerate policies that can distribute income. Like we have a progressive taxation system, so
what changes would you suggest in taxation?
We can conduct a comprehensive study to ascertain the income inequality in the country in a comprehensive manner, so that taxation, the amount procured through taxation can be distributed through various schemes, sir, maybe.
Okay, we will leave the constitution there. Come back to one of your interests is following trends in international relations.
Yes, sir.
What is the most dominant trend you are observing now?
The most dominant trend we are observing is against globalization and rising protectionism in countries, especially the Western countries who were once the most prominent advocates of globalization. That is one growing trend which has been observed in the recent
I agree with you. Okay, sir. And what is the reason for this?
What is the reason?
You said about a trend.
Yes, sir.
That there is opposition to globalization now.
Yes,
now, why this opposition come about? How did it happen?
Sir, when the developing countries are catching up on the developed countries in terms of manufacturing capabilities or service industry, these people in developed countries are starting to lose jobs and income, because the same job can be done with a lesser pay to laborers in a developing countries. So protests are arising in developed countries itself against outsourcing of jobs, and this is creating.
Can you give a macro picture over a period of time in a historic sense, if you have studied that problem?
Yes, sir. Like the Trump administration in US recently has been promoting Make in America or Make America Great Again.
They took up that issue because of some reason, some trends which has happened over a period of time. Okay, we will leave that. Any interesting documentary which you saw? Because one of your interests is documentary.
Yes, sir. The recent one I saw was the making of Airbus A380. It's a technical documentary. That is the recent one I saw.
That documentary I also saw. It is about some accident.
No, sir. It is the creation of the A380 aircraft, which is the largest passenger jet ever created.
Okay. We will leave it at that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. When you worked in Infosys, did you have an opportunity to interact with the CEO? Or?
No, sir.
Okay. So recently there was a debate going on regarding the 70-hour work weekday that has been put into a lot of debate.
Yes, sir.
So what is your view? Whether you agree with that concept of a 70-hour?
Sir,
work for a week?
problem with working for large hours is people are compromising their mental health and their family relations. So that what I feel is we should have a balanced life. We should give equal importance to our career as well as our family, because
But this is supposed to have enhanced productivity and efficiency, and nation building, creation of wealth.
but
And
I
there
sir
are many people are supporting that also.
sir but I feel working for that much longer period in a week doesn't add to productivity by much, I believe, because
How many hours does Mr. Naranamurthy work?
he said he used to work 70 hours a week.
And he has no balance in life.
But
Or any of the business magnates, or any of the business, even an ordinary person who is having a small shop in his place, he works more than 12 hours a day.
yes, sir. But
Then,
sir,
okay, since you are hesitating to answer, I am asking the next questions.
okay, sir.
What is ESOP?
ESOP.
ESOPs.
I'm afraid.
Employee stock option.
Okay.
Okay. What does it? What does it do?
I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't recall that.
Because even if a company develops, it creates wealth, and if the employees are working 70 hours or more, they are given ESOPs as incentives.
Yes,
Then there is the wealth is created. Then there will be no issues of work-life balance if ESOPs are going to come in a large way. So it's all about incentivization. Now the misunderstanding is that 70 hours of work without any incentives. But if you get the right type of incentives, I think people both in India and abroad, they work hard. Then you also mentioned something during your answers regarding wage inequality.
yes, sir.
So that we find not only in India, in abroad also. Racism is there in payment of wages in
Yes,
many
sir.
places. So suppose if you are in a foreign posting where you interact with a large number of Indian diaspora who are doing ordinary work, and you feel that their wage disparity is there with the standards of that is being paid to maybe other developed nation executives or employees, what would be your stand? How would you be able to resolve it, if it is possible to resolve?
Sir, the wage disparity, I feel it is very large in India.
Okay, leaving aside India, take an international environment.
Yes, proper wage distribution policies by the state can be included in that. I mean, to rectify this problem.
Okay, what is corruption?
Corruption is the
Where
use
does it actually happen? And in a bureaucrat's life, how will he deal with it?
Sorry, sir, I didn't get.
What is corruption?
Yes, sir.
Where does it actually occur? And in a bureaucrat's life or in his activities, how will he deal with corruption?
Yes, sir.
Whether you will be part of the system or whether you can initiate measures by which it can be done, it can be eliminated. And if you can initiate systems by which it can be eliminated, what are the solutions that you can offer?
Yes, sir. Corruption is the use of public office for private ends by bureaucrats as well as anyone who is in power. Corruption entails into a bureaucrat's life when he is a public servant. He is responsible to serve public, and when public is coming for some service or help, he should do it without receiving any emoluments or any kind of kickbacks for that. So that is the most important area where bureaucrats might get involved in corruption in public service. So to avoid that, there are many ways. First of all, the bureaucrat himself can take a stern decision that his power or authority is to serve the people, not to serve himself.
Creating systems, some systems,
Yes,
using digital support.
Yes, sir. So such systems can avoid human to human interface. So this corruption happens when there is more human to human interface or communication.
Any of the initiatives in any of the government departments where the technological intervention has to a large extent reduced corruption or reduced the turnaround time?
Yes, sir. Recently, government.
Any major government department?
Yes, sir. Faceless scheme for income tax adjudication has been introduced, and it is said to have reduced corruption in those areas by a large extent. And we have.
You are studying you are making the statement based on some report or some study or some objective data.
Sir, I think I've read about in some government data, probably Jan Vishwas.
No, all governments will say after we came, corruption has come down. No government has said otherwise so far, in my memory.
Yes, sir. But
Okay. I just wanted to know what is the basis. I had a curiosity. Okay.
yes, sir.
What are the economic indices by which we can measure whether the quality of life has improved, and whether you can take an estimate of that at the time of your joining a particular place as a district collector, and maybe after 3 years or whatever period you get, and whether you will be able to measure the improvement in the economic indices of.
Sir, the recent HDI conducted by Niti Aayog includes, sorry sir, not HDI, Multidimensional Poverty Index by Niti Aayog has included bank accounts and sort of financial improvement as one indicator. So that can be used. And we have Gini coefficient which measures inequality among citizens. Then various government commissions can be instituted to ascertain income inequality or poverty levels. So yes sir, so we can use those measures to ascertain inequality in our society.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, Ashwanth, you have stated that as part of your extracurricular activities,
Yes sir.
you are following latest news and technologies on automobiles and aircraft.
Yes sir.
Now, in your estimate, what is the biggest challenge that the automotive sector is facing right now in terms of competition? The automotive sector, as we see today.
Yes sir. Sir, the automotive field is in cutthroat competition to achieve electrification, or what we say post-fossil fuel era. So they spend huge amounts of R&D in developing new technologies, which is to substitute fossil fuels, be it electrification or in future hydrogen fuels. So I feel that is the most important area where automobiles are competing to.
Renewables, you mean to see
Yes,
renewables,
sir.
clean and green energy technologies?
Yes sir, clean transportation.
But you tell me in terms of operational, pure at the operational level, what poses competition to the automotive sector?
Sir, operation level, so many markets are price sensitive. So price is one of the most important area where companies are competing to get consumers into buying their products. One is price. Then recently Indians are more savvy.
No, I spoke, you recall the first word that I used. What is a challenge for the automotive?
Yes sir. The
You're
biggest.
talking of competition.
Yes sir.
Fair enough.
The biggest challenge is to cater to the needs and demands of the consumers who are buying the products. So in order to beat the competition and get the people to buy your product, we have to invest in technologies, research and development, then marketing. Various, digital marketing has taken a huge leap in
Do you
recent
think
years.
autonomous vehicles would pose a competition to the automotive sector itself?
Sir, I feel autonomous vehicles is the next evolution in the automobile sector. It is not a direct competition. As we move further up the technology ladder, we'll soon see autonomous vehicles which will become mass market cars. Even now we have autonomous, semi-autonomous vehicles available in mass market cars in India. So as the technology goes up, this will not be a competition, but it will be mainstream cars in the future.
What is the national scrappage policy we are talking?
Yes, sir. National scrappage policy to promote a circular economy where the older vehicles are scrapped instead of leaving it aside after a certain usage, certain period of life. So when we scrap the vehicle, we can recycle all the parts which can be recycled and put into a new vehicle after processing. So it will eliminate wastage to a large extent, and it will unlock financial values which were otherwise would be wasted in a.
What is lean manufacturing in automotive sector? Does it hold promise? And what is closed manufacturing?
So, lean manufacturing, I couldn't recall properly this time, but as far as I know, Sir, am I allowed to take this
Please,
one?
please.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, as far as I know, it is optimization of manufacturing process, which in turn cuts the cost and offer a value for money choice to the consumers.
Can India think of these trends, adapting itself to these trends
Yes, sir.
to make its manufacturing base more competitive?
Yes, sir. Technology is something which provides
Where are we positioned ourselves in semiconductor space?
right now we are at the base of the pyramid. We are just starting to assemble semiconductor or electronics products in India.
What are the constraints the semiconductor space is facing?
Yes, sir. We face a major constraint being the raw materials. Semiconductors are made by gallium, germanium, then lithium, cobalt, nickel. All these metals we are very paucity. There is paucity in resources. For example, lithium we are completely importing as of now. So resource constraint is a major problem we are facing. So it is I feel it is a.
But why did Foxconn and all fail? The Apple.
Yes, sir.
We came up with so much of hype and hope, but we didn't deliver perhaps. What went wrong?
Foxconn case, as far as I know, the company faced some difficulties in procuring materials and some labor issues, which for the time being, I think they have not gone back entirely. For
Water
the time,
as a resource for
sorry, sir.
semiconductors? Water as a resource for semiconductors?
Yes, sir. Water semiconductor manufacturing is a water-intensive process. It requires clean water, which is very important for that.
And are we facing obsolescence in respect of the nano, for the fob? In terms of fob, are we facing obsolescence, whatever technologies we possess in miniaturization?
No, sir. What I feel we have started to create a manufacturing base here. So we are very well placed for that. We have different government schemes to encourage manufacture. So in future we can definitely move up the ladder and be a leader in
Okay,
electronics.
aircrafts. What is the use for HEPA filters? HEPA filters on board aircrafts.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I have heard of it, but I couldn't recall at this time. HEPA filters.
Since you are fascinated by technology, I guess.
Yes, sir.
That's all. Okay.
Thank you,
I'll
sir.
close. Thank you. Right.
India aspires to permanent membership of the UN Security Council.
Yes, sir.
Imagine that we have achieved it.
Yes, sir.
Something that doesn't look likely, but imagine. What difference does it make to the life of the average Indian citizen?
Sir, the role of a permanent member in UN Security Council as such does not make a huge difference in the life of an ordinary Indian citizen, but it is about the stature of our country in the international level. Being a permanent member with a veto power in the highest decision making body of the world in terms of security, definitely it will be a moment of pride for ordinary Indians, but I feel as such it does not make any great difference in the life of an ordinary Indian citizen. But it's a matter of national pride.
But it will bring all kinds of additional responsibilities.
Yes, sir.
Let us say 2 Latin American countries are having a problem. At the moment we don't care. But if you are a member of the Security Council, you will have to start caring.
Yes, sir.
Which means you must invest additional resources, people, money and so on to keep track of all that's happening all over the place.
Yes, sir.
If you have to be an active participant in as a permanent member of the Security Council.
Yes,
So
sir.
if it doesn't bring any real advantage to your people and you have to put in additional resources just to remain active in that role, then what is that pride all about? Is
Sir,
it worth it? Is it worth the trouble?
Yes, sir. Definitely it is worth the trouble. But as you have just mentioned, when we have to invest more to as a member of the permanent member of the UN Security Council, it will create more opportunities for the people in India, be it So if we are to invest, we have to be ready ourselves first. So we have that population, we have that resources. So definitely the people of India will get opportunities in terms of investment, which we will be making when we are a permanent member.
Security Council deals with issues of security,
Yes,
war
sir.
and peace.
Yes, sir.
And if we are not able to resolve issues in your own neighborhood bilaterally with our neighbors, what contribution can we make in resolving problem between Brazil and its neighbor?
Sir, I believe whatever small result or tangible result we can make, it will be worth the try. Because all nations are sovereign nations and they all follow their national interest. So we might not be able to make a huge difference to the decisions they make based on their national interest, but it is worth the try. That if we made any even smallest tangible change we can make, it is worth the try, sir, I feel.
Is Indian diaspora
Yes, sir.
happy with the approach taken by Government of India in looking after their interests?
Yes, sir. The Government of India has been very approachable, helpful for the diaspora of India in whichever country they might be in for any sorts of trouble or anything. Recently, we have seen how fast the evacuations have been done from Ukraine, then Afghanistan. Even for the people, citizens of Afghanistan, we have using our resources to help them. So Indian diaspora at the moment is receiving a whole lot of help from the Indian government, which should be as the way forward as well.
Thank you. Sir,
Yes.
your feedback.
Aswanth, you are good. You are a good candidate.
Thank
Your
you.
fundamentals are quite sound.
Thank you, sir.
One thing I felt is in the interview you are engaging a board. I may be asking you something, but everyone is there.
Yes, sir.
So when it comes to what they call eye contact, you should look at me, but you should engage others also.
Yes, sir.
See, in the interview board it will be easier because it's a semicircular formation there. The chairman will be sitting at the apex of the semicircle and you will be sitting at the opposite side, the members on either side.
Yes, sir.
So you should engage everyone.
Yes, sir.
That is one thing I observed. Otherwise, on socio-political, economic issues can come because your political science background. But the technical and developmental thing, you are responding well with the details. And wherever you can give some concrete examples, some illustration, that will add value.
Yes, sir.
That will impress, that you can keep in mind. And in social and economic, particularly social, political kind of questions, issues or administrative, you try to view the question from the different angle, the various pros and cons and the dimensions you try to present and then come to a viewpoint.
Yes, sir.
If it is present, because the manner in which you arrive at a conclusion, that is also important for a civil servant. That's my way of suggestion. But
Yes, sir.
on the whole, your fundamentals are right, and you have the wherewithal to do well.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you, sir.
You did well, and your hands can be a little bit more
No. Yes, sir.
friendly towards yourself when you answer the questions. And all.
Yes, sir.
You smiled now. So that expression of pleasantness
That adds value.
This adds value to the answers you are giving. So many of the answers you proceed with, as far as I know. So if it is possible, you try to avoid that.
Sure, sir. Yes.
And you
I'll work
actually
on
your
it.
answers are based on what you know. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But then make that what you know a little bit more deeper, so that preparation and that this spider chart which you can mention, I think will be of use to you. So do well and all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you did very well, I must say. Of course, your experience also speaks for itself, your past experience. Infosys followed by Tech Tree. You've worked.
Yes, sir. Actually, mine is an engineering consultancy firm.
It's an
I am on deputation to Boeing,
to
India.
Boeing, right.
Yes. I couldn't enter that due to space constraints,
Doesn't
character
matter.
constraints.
It doesn't matter. So, the HEPA filter and all that, these were purely academic questions.
Yes, sir.
You can read it up.
Yes, sir,
Air
sure, sir.
filtration inside on board the aircraft. You said there has been a lot of R&D innovations in that space,
Yes, sir.
probably, which we can read up. But otherwise, I think Sir put it and what Mr. Ajit put it, you have a very broad-based understanding of everything. But try to structure your answers a bit more. Probably you can figure out a way of doing it. Maybe have spider charts.
Yes, sir.
Probably look at your DAF, read every word, probably what is in the DAF, whether what kind of questions can figure there. Personal, professional, academic, your optional, current affairs, world view of things, societal, home state,
Yes, sir.
nation. Look at it in the form of clusters. What are the likely questions which can emerge? Script them and perhaps probably do a bit of structuring on issue based questions.
Yes, sir.
Economy related matters you can try to get up. Then company related matters, because Infosys and then the issues that has come up now. And then the benefits to the employees can come, the work-life balance, all those things. ESOP and all is a major factor that comes when you work for long hours. What is the incentivization process?
Yeah, especially with the corporate background,
ESOP things.
I think Infosys used to, but maybe it's part
Yes,
of the
I
compensation
got the
structure.
ESOP after you.
Not at the junior levels, perhaps middle management
Yes, sir.
and senior.
Executive levels.
But it's in the public domain. The remuneration policy of Infosys is in the public domain.
Yes, sir.
So if you read through that, you will get an.
And maybe as Ajit put it, it is only through that angle of productivity, through that prism of, seeking ownership, sensing as ownership in the company when you get ESOP.
Yes,
Obviously, you have a greater level of commitment then.
Yes, sir. I understood what is meant by ESOP later on when you spoke, but yeah, it is, as you mentioned, it is available at executive levels only. Not
But
for-
then everybody aspires to reach that level.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
That's only at the top, I think.
Yes, sir.
It depends on the policy of the
bonuses,
company. So
At times they can declare it. And could be project based incentives, outcome of a successful project.
they have a-
Because Infosys operates across various global geographies.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions to ask us?
No, sir. Thank you.
Amrita IAS Academy.